Have you ever wondered why grief and loneliness seem to be such universal experiences? It's a question that stirs the soul, touches the heart, and kindles the mind. Grief and loneliness are emotions that are as old as humanity itself. From the earliest cave dwellers to modern city dwellers, from the richest tycoon to the humblest laborer, no one is immune to these feelings. They are, in essence, a part of our shared human experience. Like two sides of a coin, they are integral to our existence, as they shape our perception of the world and ourselves. They are not anomalies or aberrations, but rather, they are a part of the spectrum of emotions that make us human. Even the most joyful moments are often tinged with a hint of sadness, and the most solitary moments can lead to profound self-discovery. So yes, grief and loneliness are universal. But what if we told you that grief and loneliness can be overcome, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel? Throughout history, many wise and influential figures have faced and overcome their own struggles with grief and loneliness. They've shared their wisdom, experiences, and insights, providing solace and guidance to those who find themselves walking similar paths. Take Keanu Reeves, a man who has faced more than his fair share of personal tragedy. He once said, "Grief changes shape, but it never ends." It's a stark and poignant reminder that grief is not something we get over, but something we learn to live with. Reeves suggests acceptance as a way to cope, to allow grief to change shape, and to find peace in the transformation. Consider also the wisdom of J.K. Rowling, who once wrote, "Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life." When she penned those words, she was speaking from a place of deep personal pain and loneliness. Yet she found strength in that low point, using it as a springboard to create a life filled with magic and wonder. Then there's the eloquent Maya Angelou, whose words continue to inspire and uplift. She once said, "You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them." It's a powerful statement, reminding us that we have the power to choose how we respond to the challenges life throws our way. We should also remember the words of Carl Jung, a renowned psychologist who understood the human psyche deeply. He said, "Loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you." This highlights the importance of expressing our feelings and reaching out to others, even when we feel isolated. These individuals remind us that we are not alone in our experiences and that it's possible to overcome these challenges. The wisdom they've shared comes from a place of understanding, empathy, and resilience. It offers us a beacon of hope, a guiding light that can help us navigate our way through the darkness of grief and loneliness. One common theme among these quotes is the power of perspective. A remarkable strength lies within each of us, a strength that is often overlooked, the ability to change our perspective. This strength is particularly important when we're navigating through the turbulent waters of grief and loneliness. Let's take a moment to ponder on the words of the renowned author, Dr. Seuss, who once said, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened." These words are simple, yet they hold such profound wisdom. They encourage us to shift our focus from loss to appreciation, from ending to experience. Think about it. How often do we find ourselves dwelling on the emptiness left behind by a lost loved one, a broken relationship, or an ended chapter of our lives? What if, instead, we took a step back and viewed these experiences from a different angle? What if we chose to celebrate the joy, the lessons, and the growth these experiences brought us? Dr. Seuss's words are a call to change our perspective. Instead of being consumed by the sadness of the ending, we can choose to relish in the beauty of the journey. This shift in perspective can be a potent antidote to grief and loneliness. But let's not forget, changing perspective is not about denying the pain or suppressing the sadness. It's about acknowledging these feelings, yet choosing to focus on the positives. It's about finding the silver lining, even in the darkest clouds. The power of perspective is also beautifully encapsulated in the words of Louisa May Alcott, who wrote, "I am not afraid of storms, for I am learning how to sail my ship." This quote reminds us that challenges, including grief and loneliness, are opportunities for growth. They are the storms that teach us how to navigate through the sea of life. So remember, when you're engulfed in the waves of grief and loneliness, you have the power to change your perspective. You can choose to see the storm as an opportunity to become a skilled sailor rather than a threat to drown you. It's all about how you look at your situation. Another key to overcoming grief and loneliness lies in connection. Yes, you heard it right, connection. It's that invisible bond we share with others, the one that makes us feel understood, valued, and less alone in this vast world. Let's delve a little deeper into this idea. A well-known figure, Robin Williams, once said, "I used to think the worst thing in life was to end up all alone. It's not. The worst thing in life is to end up with people who make you feel alone." This quote is a profound reminder that true connection is not about the quantity of people in our lives, but the quality of our relationships. You might have 1,000 friends on social media, but if none of them truly knows you, understands you, or makes an effort to reach out to you, then it's likely you'll still feel alone. On the other hand, having just a few genuine connections can significantly lessen feelings of grief and loneliness. Connection, in its truest sense, is about feeling seen and heard. It's about showing up for others and allowing them to show up for you. It's about being vulnerable, letting others in, and leaning into the discomfort that sometimes comes with opening up. It's about shared experiences, shared emotions, and shared understanding. In times of grief, these connections can provide a lifeline, a beacon of hope in the darkest times. They can offer a shoulder to cry on, a listening ear, or simply a comforting presence. They remind us that we are not alone in our pain, that others have walked this path before us and emerged stronger on the other side. So, let's not underestimate the power of connection. Reach out to others, be open, be vulnerable. Share your story and listen to theirs. You'll find that many people are more than willing to connect, to understand, to empathize. In the end, it's not about avoiding grief or loneliness, but about learning to navigate these feelings with the help of others. It's about finding solace in shared human experiences. It's about understanding that we're all in this together. Remember, true connection comes from authenticity. So what's the path forward? How do we apply these insights to our own lives? Let's start by reflecting on the wisdom shared throughout this journey. We've explored the harsh realities of grief and loneliness, and the toll they can take on our spirit. But remember, it's not about the struggle, it's about how we respond to it. We've heard from the wise, those who've walked this path before us and emerged stronger. They've shown us that even in our darkest moments, there's a light within us waiting to shine. They've reminded us that grief and loneliness are not our end, but merely chapters in our larger narrative. We've discovered the power of perspective, how it can transform our worldview and breathe life into our darkest hours. By shifting our focus from loss to love, from isolation to connection, we can start to see the beauty in our journey, the lessons in our pain. We've delved into the role of connection, how authentic relationships can be a beacon of hope in our sea of despair. We've learned that by reaching out, by opening up, we can find solace, support, and strength in others. And now, armed with this wisdom, we face the path forward. It's not a path devoid of challenges, but it's one we can navigate with resilience and grace. It's a path where we can apply these insights, changing our perspective and seeking meaningful connections to rise above our grief and loneliness. Let's remember, we're not alone in this journey. We have a wealth of wisdom and a community of support to draw strength from. We have the power to transform our pain into purpose, our loneliness into love. And as we walk this path, let's carry with us the words of Albert Schweitzer. Sometimes our light goes out but is blown into flame by another human being. Each of us owes deepest thanks to those who have rekindled this light. It's a reminder that we're all connected, that in our darkest moments we have the power to light up each other's lives. So, as we step forward, let's do so with courage, compassion, and conviction. Let's embrace the journey, the struggles, and the triumphs, knowing that we're not alone. As Albert Schweitzer once said, sometimes our light goes out, but is blown into flame by another human being. Each of us owes deepest thanks to those who have rekindled this light.